Welcome, my dear friends, to Spring Forest Qigong community meeting. We are so happy to be with you today. On behalf of Master Lin and Deborah Lin and everyone at Spring Forest Qigong, all the teachers and healers and practice group leaders, we are all here with you, one community for one purpose, which is to bring healing into every home, a world without pain and suffering. My name is Katrina Tobey, and I am a Spring Forest Qigong master. Very honored to be with you. I'm also a licensed psychologist and a marriage and family therapist and a mother and many other loving roles that I have in this life that I have chosen and that I have created. So I would like you now actually to acknowledge your name, to say your name, and to acknowledge your own challenges and your own experiences that have created who you are now and what your life purpose is right now. I'm listening to you as you say your name, as you say your life experiences, and as you acknowledge your life purpose for today. Thank you. I hear you, I see you, I love you, I honor you. Now in the tradition, the Taoist tradition, but in many traditions of respect, I bow to you. I bow to every experience that you have had that is imprinted within you, that has brought you here now. I honor you. I respect you. I appreciate everything about you that has brought you here to this life with your purpose now. Our identity is what we both create within us and also what we radiate out from us. It could be our name, it's our experiences, it's certainly our beliefs. And so it really was this identity, and as a psychologist and a marriage and family therapist, that first activated my desire, my curiosity to connect with Spring Forest Qigong. So when I first heard of Master Lin, really it was his words, actually it was his philosophy and his belief about life, which was everyone is born a healer. Everyone is born a healer. I am born a healer, and the truth of it is you were born a healer. The truth is I am able to heal, and the truth is that you are able to heal. So as a psychologist working with so many people who were in so much pain and perhaps were feeling powerless, hopeless, my question was, what will help? What will encourage? What will give encouragement? But actually, what will give results for healing? So when I heard that, it sent a message through me, like an intelligence message of activation that said, what? What could this be? So Born a Healer was my introduction to Spring Forest Qigong. So I went to a class, of course, to find out more. And also the philosophy and the belief of Master Lin, which really resonated with me with curiosity, was a healer in every home, a healer in every family, a world without pain and suffering. How could that be? A world without pain and suffering. But as a family therapist and as a mother, I recognized somewhere maybe a little bit more in the back of my mind, but coming closer and closer into my consciousness, that actually it was the family. It was the family that was the cornerstone, that was the foundation for healing. Yes, heal the world, totally in on it, on that. However, and what could I do? What would be my piece of the healing? A healer in every family, a world without pain and suffering. So you see, I was so curious. Could this be true? So I went to my first class, and I am sitting kind of in the middle, kind of, just being kind of anonymous as I could be. And I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. And Master Lin is doing his teachings, and he actually is talking about how some people believe that the closer you get to the master, then the more, healing that you're going to get. But he said, actually, that's not how the Qi works. It's really, the Qi has an intelligence. And then he said, for example, that woman who's sitting kind of towards the back and in the middle, she has a blockage all along her left side. That was me. And I go, my whole body, my whole consciousness, my whole belief of what is possible shifted at that moment. Now let me tell you a little bit more of this story. As a therapist and mother, I have really come to know and believe that just about always, if not always, there's more to the story. So there's more to this story. There's more to my story of healing that has inspired me to continue to study with Spring Forest Qigong very intensely and loyally for over 17 years. So when I was a child, I was in a fire, and I caught fire, and I was burned over about a third of my body. My ears, my hands, a third of my body on my left side. And this is one of the main reasons, but I have many main reasons. So this is when I heard Master Lin say, actually I saw it in print, born a healer. Everyone was born a healer. I knew it was true because I was a little girl who was burned severely over a third of her body, and I healed. So didn't need to convince me that healing was possible. Not only possible, but we're designed that way. We're designed to heal. And so I was burned. Oh, I had burns, I had wounds, And through my healing, I have scars, deep scars, all along my left side. My hands healed, my ears healed. Actually, I healed everywhere because I didn't have open wounds anymore. I had scars. Scars are the teaching that says you are born a healer. So a scar is a message of the ability for deep healing, no matter what. So I went through my life with, listen to the emotions here. I went with my life with what are called angry scars. You heard that before? Or angry is an angry wound. I also went through my life at different times, different surgeries and things like that, where I had weeping wounds. Every day the dressings would have to be changed, and I would have to have special baths and things like that because my wounds were weeping. So here, acknowledge that the wounds and the scars had an emotion embedded. There was an emotion connected with the scars. There was an emotion connected with the wounds that was still imprinted in the blueprint. So when I started studying Spring Forest Qigong and this enlightenment, that actually what I had so carefully covered up, so carefully hidden to the best of my ability, actually in my growing up years, actually even in my college years and my career, oftentimes I was known as, she's the one with the scar. Just like we would say sometimes, oh, he's the one in a wheelchair, or some characteristic that others thought was defining me. She's the one with the scar. So, but even myself, I would not look at myself. I would never look in a full-length mirror. I would only look on my right side. I would never pay any attention. I abandoned, I rejected my left side with the angry scar and the weeping wounds. So in Spring Forest Qigong, I recognized actually I have a blockage. It's not if I don't see it, if I don't acknowledge it, that it goes away. No, it was just waiting there for me, for healing, for deeper healing. So in Spring Forest Qigong, I learned different practices of acknowledgement and healing, whatever the challenge might be. So one of the practices actually is to pay attention to a part of the body. For instance, like if somebody has a knee challenge, first of all, to pay attention to the other knee that already has the flow of qi, already has access to the information coming in to the creation of new cells all the time. So that's what I started to do. So I acknowledged, actually what I acknowledged was my scars, which actually what I was acknowledging was my ability to heal. That extraordinary miracle that is embedded in all of us, the ability to heal. So I every morning, actually sometimes 3 times a day, because I kind of got into it uh, for very good reasons. Okay. So I would acknowledge my left side. I would say, oh, oh my goodness, that really happened. That really happened. You really were in a fire. That was so scary for you. So I acknowledged that it really happened. I acknowledged the emotions. That was so scary for you. That hurt you so much. And then I acknowledged the healing. Thank goodness you made it. Thank goodness you were able and willing and to access all these powerful resources so that you could go on with your life. Thank goodness you made it. And then I would say, now, on the right side is a blueprint of your original blueprint before the trauma, before the fire, the blueprint that was creating all these new cells, all this new skin, all this muscle, all this ability for movement. That original blueprint is still there on your right side. When the trauma happened, it disrupted the blueprint, the original blueprint of how cells and the intelligence, the chi, and the movement of the energy should create new life. It got disrupted. But the original blueprint is available to you. So pay attention to your sister. Pay attention to the pattern of creation on your right side. And then activate the pattern of creation on the left side. And I did that because I believed it. And because I believed it, it was because it was true. Now, what started to happen was, and is continuing to happen actually, is that the angry scar became just an ordinary scar. It was no longer red. It was no longer weeping. It was no longer have raised bed, so to speak, like angry. My scar, which is the message, the badge of healing, my scar softened and the redness went away. And then over time, I still have a mark. I still have a mark of a miracle of healing, born a healer. And I also have a mark, whether this completely leaves me or not, I have the mark of the wisdom of healing deep within me. In every cell of my body, I have the experienced wisdom of healing, which is a gift to me, which is a teaching for me, which is just a beautiful, powerful, wonderful knowing that I was born a healer and that you are a healer. Now soften your shoulders. Put a smile on your face. Gentle breathing. And now in your heart area, which includes so much wisdom, so much ability. I want you to say these words that have such healing vibrations. I am so beautiful. And allow that vibration, that truth, to be activated in every cell of your body. I am so beautiful. And as our teacher, Grandmaster Lin says, feel it. I've been so many teachings with him, and he said, if you don't take anything else away from this, keep this. Feel it. Okay, one more time. I am so beautiful. Feel it. Okay, now soften your shoulders. Gentle breathing. Smile on your face. Activate your heart power and say, I am so powerful. I am so powerful. One more time. I am so powerful. And feel it. Now, soften your shoulders. Remember this process. Okay. It's more than just the build-up, okay? It's very powerful and beautiful. And okay, soften your shoulders. Gentle breathing. Smile on your face. And say, I am so wonderful. I am so wonderful. I am so wonderful. And feel it in every cell of your body. Now, okay, just a little drink here. Now you could say, well, that's nice, but like, I need deep healing. Yes. So when we soften our shoulders, when you soften your shoulders, this is by design. This is actually the brilliance and the beauty, the power and the wonder of Master Lin's teachings of Spring Forest Qigong. That everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So when you soften your shoulders, put a smile on your face, have gentle breathing. There are sensors in your body who have an essential responsibility. And that responsibility is to decide if you are safe or not safe. If you are not safe, then an extremely powerful process is activated for survival, to fight, to flee, to do whatever is necessary for one purpose. to survive. If you are safe, then it activates another incredibly powerful process, which is for expansion, which is for healing, which is for growing and developing and creating. But that process will not be activated if your body picks up these direct data. It's not just kind of like, I'm safe, like, no. Our body is so divinely, so extraordinarily designed that there are sensors that pick up very subtle but very specific information that makes the decision safe or not safe, survival or creation. So when you soften your shoulders, that's data, direct data that says safe. When you put a smile on your face, even if you don't happy, but you just smile, it releases chemicals into your body that say safe. Gentle breathing, just gentle breathing like a sleeping baby, or says safe. So these three things are specifically designed to activate safety within your body. And when safety is activated in your body, then the ability for just extraordinary, what we would call miracles, but actually they're the design. So that's why we do that first. Then the vibration of these three words. Right now, soften your shoulders, smile on your face, because if you're getting a little worried or like, just soften your shoulders, gentle breathing, smile on your face, full of beauty. Our body, every teeniest cell, is based on the original blueprint of beauty. It is the most beautiful design and has the most beautiful purpose, which is to create life. Full of beauty. I am full of beauty. I am full of the ability to create life. Powerful. The power of the intelligence of the chi that is within us is so powerful that wisdom, the wisdom and the purpose, the power to create life, full of power. I am so full of power. It's true. As Master Lin says, if you believe it, it's true. If you don't believe it, it is still true. And it has been proven to be true within your own body hundreds of thousands of times. Wonderful. Full of wonder, full of curiosity, full of the ability to visualize, to imagine, to create that which is beautiful and powerful and loving. I am so full of wonder. I am so full of the ability to love life. I am so full of the love that is created by beauty. I am so full of the power of love, the greatest power in the universe for healing and creation in your body, in your family, in your world, in my body, in my family, my community, my world. Our world is created with this beauty, this power, and this wonder. One world that we have the truth of the born a healer by our life story. So I told you some of my life story. Right now, I would like you to activate into your heart, into your consciousness, a healing story of your own. Sit for a moment, safely, and allow a healing story of your life to come into your consciousness. Welcome your healing story with open arms. Hello, welcome. And perhaps like me, you have been ignoring some of your healing story. Perhaps you have been turning away from experiences that you have that are with you, but that you are holding off to the side. So just very, very gently, just allow a tender healing story that is the truth of you to come to comfort you and perhaps to encourage you that you are born a healer. And we would love to hear some of your stories. And perhaps people in your family would like to hear, in a gentle way, one of your healing stories. There's three things, again, the power of three. There's three things that we know now, actually the ancient ones, 5,000-year-old wisdom, 17,000-year-old wisdom. Let's bow actually to the wisdom of the ancient ones all over the world. Their wisdom, their teaching, their gifts to us. Let's bow to the wisdom of the ancient ones. With such gratitude, thank you for your wisdom. With such appreciation, thank you for your loyalty and your kindness. Thank you, dear ancient ones. For the truth that you so generously share with us, even when we're not listening. Thank you, especially. Ashley, thank you for that. So the ancient wisdom that is also now very much supported by modern technology and modern methods, which is for deep healing, 3 things must be present, must be activated, must be in place. We need to be safe enough. We need to be strong enough. And we need to have enough support. Safe enough, strong enough, and have enough support. This is also why when I first came to Spring Forest Qigong, when I first started learning and studying with Master Lin, I knew the truth of that every aspect of Spring Forest Qigong had a very powerful, wonderful, and beautiful purpose. As Master Gadu Schmidt talked last month in the community meeting, we meet every month. Last month, he talked about the simplicity of Spring Forest Qigong, the elegance of Spring Forest Qigong. So I am affirming that same truth, which is that every aspect of Spring Forest Qigong is designed for the power and the beauty and the wonder of healing. A healer in every family, a world without pain and suffering. So we need to be safe enough, strong enough, and have enough support. So if you've been tuning in to Spring Forest Qigong live every day, those teachings, that's a gift also to, like the ancient ones, giving the wisdom, giving the teachings is a gift to the world because it's true. We need this. But the teachers and the masters who are doing the Spring Forest Qigong every day are teaching some of the movements, some of the chisage, some of the sounds, some of the wisdom, the principles every day. Because every aspect of that, whether it's the 5 elements or the fundamental movements, if it's the moon meditation or the butterfly meditation, if the sounds, the healing sounds, they're all designed to activate being strong enough and safe enough and having enough support. The community meetings, this was Master Lin's, not only his desire, but his, he worked so hard, whatever word that means. So he was so diligent, he was so loyal that Spring Forest Qigong was not going to just be about Chuni Lin. He said it so many times. Spring Forest Qigong, it's not about Chuni Lin. It's about the teachings. He is the teacher. We need the teacher. And now we have so many teachers also because of Master Lin and Deborah Lin's commitment to a world without pain and suffering, which means we need a lot of teachers. We need a lot of practice group leaders. So all through the world now, there are teachers. That's one part of the wisdom plan for healing. Also, the teachings of Spring Forest Qigong also continue to evolve so that the needs of the world are met by every aspect of Spring Forest Qigong. So we have the teachers, we have the teachings, and now, my dear friends, right now at this moment, we are activating the 3rd necessity, which is community, to have enough support. to have enough support. Safe enough, strong enough, and having enough support for the healing of the wounds that are caused by the trauma. The wounds, the trauma creates wounds in one way or another: emotional, physical, spiritual, relational. The wounds, the trauma creates the wounds, and the wounds doing their best given the circumstances that they're in, the amount of support that they have and the information, begin the healing. But if the energy system and the ability for the wisdom of Qi to activate the original blueprint, that then the healing gets somewhat like in my scar, it gets disjointed, it gets discombobulated. I don't know if that's a word anymore. I remember my grandmother used to say discombobulated, so it works for me. It's just like, it's just not working right. It's just all kind of, oftentimes that's what happens in our body is that there is a healing, there is a covering up of the original wound, but the original blueprint of the creation of new life is disrupted somehow. So the meditations, the movements, the beliefs that are the teachings of Spring Forest Qigong are all designed actually to activate the original design. Safe enough, strong enough, and have enough support. So we have community meetings like this. We have wisdom talks. Perhaps you have heard Master Tobey, happens to be my husband, but he is giving wisdom talks every day. Other teachers and masters are every day in the morning live streaming teachings. Like, this is our community for the purpose of healing, a healer in every family, a world without pain and suffering. When Master Lin, this is part of his story, you can read it, but you can have a live teaching with him, which, by the way, next Saturday, August 8th, Master Lin will be having a live teaching. So you see, the gifts of the ancient ones, the loyalty and the wisdom passed on, is still being passed on. So let's bow to the creator of Spring Forest Qigong, Grandmaster Tobey Lin, for his loyalty, for his kindness, for his wisdom. Thank you so much.